On the floor is Demarcus Cousins, Thursday, August 15th, after tearing his ACL, his third major injury. But what does this mean for him and his basketball career? Let's take a look back to see how devastating this injury truly is.
With the fifth pick in the 2010 NBA draft, the Sacramento Kings select Demarcus Cousins from the University of Kentucky.
Demarcus Cousins, the big fella out of Kentucky, 6'11", 292 pounds. He becomes the third freshman selected in the top 5.
Let's pause it right here. Demarcus Cousins has just been drafted, the 2010 fifth overall pick, going to the Sacramento Kings, after his fellow teammate John Wall had been drafted number 1 overall. Now, Demarcus Cousins was very successful in his time with Sacramento, as he averaged 26 points, 11.5 rebounds, and 4 assists in the last 3 years as he was truly ascending on that team. Growing up watching Demarcus Cousins, I always knew he was a hothead, but looking past that, he was truly an amazing center and possibly the best center in the NBA for a certain amount of time, especially those last 3 years when he truly was ascending. In his time with Sacramento, he accumulated 3 All-Star appearances as well as 2 All-NBA, making the All-NBA second team in 2015 as well as in 2016. When he came into play Sacramento, Boogie really lived up to his name, as tensions would usually flare with Demarcus Cousins causing trouble and usually end up getting teed up. But you did not want to wake up this bear, as he was a constant double-double threat, always giving his team a chance to win. Now you might be asking, how good is Demarcus Cousins really, as the Sacramento Kings never made the playoffs in his tenure with them? Well, you have a point there. But if you look at it from the Kings' perspective, Demarcus Cousins never had a good point guard to play with, as point guards were coming in and out every year, and he never had a team really put in place. He was the main cog, and it just wasn't enough. The Sacramento Kings aren't a big market. They're not going to spend, so it was just hard. They didn't have good drafts, as they were in the middle. They're in that middle that you never want to be, so it's hard to get good picks and develop them, and it's hard to sign players. So the Kings truly were in a tough place in the Demarcus Cousins era. The Kings also realized this, as they did not want to stay in mediocrity anymore and ship Demarcus Cousins to New Orleans, ironically in New Orleans at the All-Star game, if you can remember.
Kind of sum up your All-Star experience and...
Oh, really?
Can you
That's whatever.
Can you sum up your All-Star experience? What it was like during all these great players?
It was amazing, man. I enjoyed the city of New Orleans. I love it here in New Orleans.
Demarcus Cousins turned out to be a great fit with Anthony Davis and the Pelicans, as he finished out the year not making the playoffs as they're too far out, but the next year the team looked solid, but unfortunately Cousins wasn't there to help them for their playoff run, as he was cursed with this injury that started it all.
Cousins misses. Oh, almost got his own rebound.
Big thing right now is just...
And he just got hurt. Yeah. Demarcus Cousins is injured at the other end. Chris Paul fouled, meanwhile, by Davis. And Demarcus Cousins can't go.
Oh,
he's holding that left lower leg area in the area of his Achilles.
When he missed the foul
They were
shot.
right. Demarcus Cousins had torn his Achilles. Being out for the playoffs on a team that was pretty good, and you don't know how they would have done in the playoffs, as they had a huge size advantage over everyone else. This injury was devastating for his career, and it truly was the beginning of the fall of Demarcus Cousins. After a long offseason of people wondering where Demarcus Cousins will land, he ended up taking a 1-year prove-it deal with the Golden State Warriors, shocking the NBA. I didn't know it was possible, but this made people hate Demarcus Boogie Cousins even more. He was hated. Everyone called him ring chaser. You should have stayed with New Orleans. It was pretty bad. As now with Cousins added to the team, people thought they're unbeatable with Kevin Durant. But now with Demarcus Cousins, people thought if he came back healthy, they would basically be like Thanos, adding the fifth stone to their roster. Demarcus Cousins came back near the end of the season and the Warriors were rolling. He turned out slow at first, but he seemed to find a place like everyone on the Warriors, and they started to look unbeatable like Thanos, like everyone had thought. However, Boogie's bad luck continued, as in his first playoffs ever in his career, Game 2 happened.
Directly past him, and that's what I mean about getting used to the playoffs. They don't call as many fouls. You can't be lazy on passes.
It's a three-pointer for Shabbat. And Demarcus Cousins limping toward the bench.
He has to come out, Marvin. I don't know if the team saw it, and they did, and they're calling that for him, and he looks very frustrated running to the side. But in the playoffs, he gets in the passing lane. This is what you want, but right here, not to make fun of the injury, but we call that a flat tire when a player just falls, and he isn't touched by anyone.
And Demarcus has made it back from that torn left Achilles tendon that was suffered last January when he was with the Pelicans.
Cousins, however, did not give up, as he desperately wanted to play in his first ever playoffs. As he came back to the NBA Finals, although not looking good, he gave it his all and secured a deal with the Lakers in the offseason. This is a similar offseason for Cousins, as he was looking again to prove all the doubters wrong by signing another prove-it deal and establishing himself again as one of the best centers in the league with the Lakers. This, unfortunately, as we all know, did not come to fruition from his injury in Las Vegas, as everything has now come full circle for Demarcus Cousins, and you gotta think that he's doing some serious soul searching right now. And I can't help to think of Derrick Rose with Demarcus Cousins, as like I said earlier, he was ascending with the Sacramento Kings, and he was only entering his prime to see what he truly could be, and this all could be for naught. Thanks to everyone who made it all the way through. It has been a slow period in the offseason, and I just thought I'd lay a little story of Demarcus Cousins, as it really impacted me of what this means for the NBA. And continue to watch our videos, like and subscribe to support the channel, and we will be coming at you with more videos in the future. Peace.